Yo, what is going on? It's the DFS Shark, and we are back with another day of some NBA action. It's now January 23rd, and we are coming off a winning day yesterday. We hit 4 out of 5 of our plays in our lineups, doubling our money, and then we also hit on our top 2 plays, and we tripled our money there. So all in all, yesterday, we 5x our money. So that is the way I wanted to kick off the week after a back and forth week last week. Before that, the first 2 weeks of the year, we absolutely crushed it, winning about 12 out of our first 14 days, right? So last week got a little wobbly. This week, we were starting off with the bang, and I'm looking to continue it this week. We got Rivals Week in the NBA as well this week, so going to be a lot of classic rival matchups, which I'm looking forward to, and a good slate for today's game, right? And I'm going to dive into yesterday's plays and do a quick recap on those here in a bit. But before we get started, there is a code below if you are new to PrizePicks. If you've never played on PrizePicks or signed up before, drop that code in and sign up, and they'll give you up to 100% match deposit bonus, right? So whatever you want to play with, if you want to throw in 20, they're going to match you $20, give you $20 of free money, right? If you want to throw in 50, they'll give you 50, and they will match you all the way up to $100, right? So a good way for you to get started and to have some free money to throw on some games and have some action as you start figuring out things, right? So drop that code in if you want to get started on PrizePicks and see if it's for you. And then also the DFS Shark Tank Discord link is below. That is a spot where I'm sending these plays out every morning. There's no paywall or anything. It's all absolutely free. That's just so I can get these plays to y'all as quick as I have them. As soon as I'm putting them in, the second I put them in, I throw them in the Discord as well, because the lines can change. And you may see in this video as I'm going through these plays, some of these lines may change or completely get bumped, which happens in most of my videos, right? Because the plays I'm on are usually heavy juiced lines. So that means basically that PrizePicks is probably going to adjust these lines. They're probably going to get bumped, right? Because the odds makers like these plays as the favorites. And then a lot of people are probably hitting these plays. So they got to account for that and adjust. And that adjustment could be them taking off the play completely or moving the line up or down, right? And we'll go over why even a half point is so important as well when it comes to these plays, right? But let's get in and dive into yesterday's plays, right? Let's throw that up here. As you can see, we hit 4 out of 5 on our 5-man slip. So when you hit 4 out of 5 on PrizePicks, you double your money for the day, right? And so we hit 4 out of 5, and then you can see I had a separate play where I always do this. I always bundle my top 2 plays, the plays I have the most confidence in. I'll bundle those up, and I throw those in a separate 2-man play. And if you hit that 2-man play, then you win 3x your money, right? So we 5x'd our money yesterday. And to go through these games real quick, Maxey ended up with about 8 assists. And if you saw the game last night, you know Embiid was absolutely killing it out there. Is unstoppable. I think he had like 70 points. Surprisingly, Maxey wasn't getting a lot of assists to him. Every time Maxey, he would throw it to Batum, and Batum would throw it into Embiid. So Batum was stealing a lot of our assists. We didn't get it until late in the fourth, which it got a little shaky, got a little scary there, but we were able to pull it out. RJ Barrett that was a pretty easy one, man. Like I said in yesterday's video, he hasn't really been settling for threes. He's really been trying to attack the paint and drive and get contact and get to the free throw line, right? And he did the same yesterday. He only shot 2 threes, missed both of them. He's only like a 30 to 35% shooter, somewhere in that range. So he's not the best 3-point shooter. And I think with his time with the Raptors, he started to realize that because he's shooting a lot less threes. And I think they just want him to be more aggressive. And he ended up putting up 25 plus points. So he had a great game, just taking it to the paint all day. Capella, Trae Young was out, so I really like this play. He barely hit the line for us. He had 10 at half, and he only finished with 12. So he barely hit it for us. I'm not sure what happened the second half. I didn't keep watching that one because I thought he was for sure going to hit that, but he did hit it. It just made us sweat it out as usual. And the most stressful player in the league to watch, Malik Beasley, who crushed it for us yesterday. Malik Beasley gave me a little gift there. He usually makes me sweat it out all game up until usually like 2 minutes left. Been like that all year with Malik Beasley, but he's on my good side now. Every time I've played him though, he's always hit most nights. He just makes you sweat it out. And then our last play, Lively, we were so close to hitting that 10x, right? All Lively needed was 2 more points. He actually got these 6 points on 3 for 3 shooting. So he only shot 3 shots, right? I believe maybe he shot a 4th one later in the game, but I believe when I was looking at it, he only was 3 for 3. So he just wasn't taking enough shots. They were playing from behind a lot of that game, most of the game. So Lucas started throwing up a lot of threes. Kyrie started throwing up a lot of threes as well. And Lively just couldn't get involved in the points action, right? He's had games where he's had 15 plus. So he has some upside there, but he just couldn't get that extra shot that we needed, which is unfortunate. But all in all, I'm not going to complain about a winning day. I'm going to keep it moving, and we're going to jump into today, right? There's a good slate today that I'm liking. Maybe 5 to 6 games. I'm not sure. I'll have to relook at it, but there is a couple games that I'm really liking these matchups, and let's jump into that and let's see what we're looking at today. All right, so let's dive into Daily Grind here so we can take a look at what the top plays of the day are, right? I always like starting these videos with, if you ever want to add some extra legs, I always want to give you the top plays on here so you can see it. You know, if you don't have the subscription, you know, if you don't feel like paying for it, that's 100% fine. I'm going to share these top plays with you so you can get them. Hopefully you can lock these in. Hopefully those are still there, right? Michael Porter Jr. rebounds under 6.5. They have him coming in at 53.81%, right? And you can see Pinnacle, known as the sharpest sportsbook, minus 150. BetMGM minus 150. Caesars minus 148. So that is a really strong line. I'm really comfortable putting that in, not even doing research, right? I do research on all my plays. I never just take top plays and put them in. But if you are someone who doesn't have the time, if you just need some action on a game, hey, the top odds to hit are going to be your best bet, because these are all backed by all the odds from the major sports books, right? And Anfernee Simmons, 3-pointers made under 3.5. They got him at 53.66%. That's another one. That one would be tough to watch because he would throw up some threes and he can hit them, but the odds are against him this game, right? They are playing the Thunder. They have like a plus 14 spread, so that's a big reason why they're on the under. They're probably getting blown out, and Simmons is probably not going to play as much minutes, which our top play is actually on the Blazers just because of that. We got it under, right? But those are going to be the top 2 plays, man. If you're looking for a tool like this to really help you find those top lines, you know, if you're working, you don't got time to do the research, completely understand. This is a great tool because you can just kind of filter down and sort by the top odds to hit. And you can literally just create a lineup, a 4-man, 5-man, 6-man slip just within 5 minutes, right? It doesn't take long. And the mobile desktop app for it is really good as well. I use it all the time. So Daily Grind, if you want to try it out, get 25% off your first month. Drop that code in SHARK and they will hook you up. And another tool I always use to complement this is Outlier. And I'm going to show you some really cool things in this video on how to really dive deep on Outlier, how to use it to its full potential. But let's dive into PrizePicks here, right? Let's dive into the plays for the day. I always start with my number 2 play of the day. So let's jump in here and start with this play. So Dinwiddie, right, is going to be our number 2 play of the day. And we're going to be going assist. We're going to be going more here, 5.5 assists, right? And what's interesting, if you look at his last 5, right, if you're just looking at last five never tells the whole story, right? You can see he looked horrible here, right? But let's dive in and see what's really going on in this game. So always start with the spread, see where kind of the game flow is looking like. So they're going to be at home, plus 4.5. Like I said, this is Rivals Week. So all these games are, you know, good rivalry matchups. You got the Lakers and Clippers in the late night, which would be a good game. But the Nets are at home, plus 4.5. So a smaller spread. I like the spreads. I like overs when the spreads are less than 5, right? And I like unders a lot when the spreads are like, you know, -10s and blowouts, right? It doesn't always go that way. Sometimes it's a mix between the two, but that's where I like to stay most times. But Dinwiddie, plus 4.5 Nets at home. So let's dive into Dinwiddie, right? And really dive in. And I'm going to show you all some cool things on Outlier. If you've never used it, if you've never seen it, on how to really show how you can get the edge in these games, right? You have to really dig into these players and find that edge, right? So let's look at here. His last 5, 40%, right? Remember, his recent trends don't tell you the whole story with him. his last 10, 20%. He's only hitting this at 20% of the time, right? Last 20, 50%, head to head, 33% of the time. And for the year, he's at 53%. So this is why I'm liking this play, is because if you look at his last 10 games, right? Dinwiddie has actually not been playing the best. He's been sort of on a minute restriction, right? So he's been in this line 5 times and he's been on a minute restriction. So you can see here, but he's actually off the minute restriction now. His last 3 games, he has been absolutely having some of his best games of the season. So they are giving him his full minutes again, right? But that tells you the whole story. So if you look in here, you can see his minutes. He was only playing 21, 28, 33, 27, 15, 20, really shooting poorly, right? So they were sitting him a lot of these games. And you can see even when he was playing 21, 28, 33, minute 27, he was right at this line here most nights, right at that 5 to 4, right? And the 3 and the 1, these are the games obviously where he played 15 minutes, he played 20 minutes. And then his last 3 games, he has jumped up to right around 33 minutes a game, right? And he's hit that line 2 out of those 3 games. So Dinwiddie, I'm liking this play here. He's getting increased minutes. And you can see if we go to his points here, right? Over his last 3, he's had some of his better games he's had for a while, right? Look at this. He's really starting to shoot the ball well. Right here is when he was doing well, and then he started going to that cold streak, and they started restricting his minutes because of that, right? But I think Dinwiddie's back. We don't need him to score. We need him to get assists, but his scoring is going to dictate how much he stays on the court also, right? If he's not shooting well, then that could affect that, right? But I'm liking Dinwiddie here, man. I think he's going to get his increase. I think he's going to get his 30-plus minutes. And one cool way to use Outlier to really dive in and look at the numbers is, one, you can sort by, let's see how he's done at home, right, for the season. He actually hasn't done as well at home, which is interesting, right? 42%. But a lot of those are from those recent games as well, right? And so what you want to look at, right, is his last 3 games, he's averaged about 33 minutes, right? And so let's see all the games where Dinwiddie has played at least, let's see, 30-plus minutes, right? When he's played 30-plus minutes, he's hit this line 73% of the time. So all he needs is minutes to hit this line, right? That's all he needs. And you can take this further. Let's say the mid games he's played 32%. He's hit this line 77% of the time. So this is how you use Outlier, man. This is how you use it to its full potential. You want to figure out what's going on, what's the story behind the player, and really dive into what's going on, right? So Dinwiddie hasn't been hitting this line recently only because he has played decreased minutes and his shooting has been poorly. But you can see over his last 3, they've taken him off that minute restriction and they're starting to give him more time now that he's playing better, right? And so you could even dive deeper if you wanted to, like, let the games where he's played 30-plus minutes and they've lost by 5, right? Which is the spread in this game. 67% of the time he's hit that line because he's just on the court more. It's a close game as well. So those are some of the things, man, when it comes to Outlier, you want to really use it to its full potential. You want to look at obviously your last 5, 10, 20, and kind of get an idea of where he's at. But then from there, you want to dive in, right? And let's see, versus point guards, the Knicks are not the best. They got Brunson on D, who's not the best defender, right? So I think Dinwiddie outsides him a little bit, but either way, they're 21st in the league, letting up 8 assists a game. So I'm liking that. Key injuries on the game. Hardenstein is a game time decision. Mitchell Robinson's out. No major injuries on the Nets. Ben Simmons, he's been out, right? So nothing that's going to really dictate this or give Dinwiddie more or less minutes or anything like that. So all in all, I'm liking this play. Dinwiddie, if he can get the 30-plus minutes, which I'm sure he will with the low spread and the way he's been playing recently, I think Dinwiddie is going to hit this line and crack it for us. He's had games of 14-plus here. So Dinwiddie, I'm liking him as my number 2 for this game. And let's dive into the numbers here. So They have him playing 31 minutes on RotoWire. They have him getting 6 assists, right? So I projected him to play 33 to 35, right? That's what I'm hoping happens. And at 6 assists, that is a good sign for RotoWire. So we're going to lock in Dinwiddie. That's going to be our number 2 play of the day. And for the top play of the day, it's going to go on that Blazers and the Thunder game, right? We're going to be going Jeremy Grant here. And the line is actually removed. So PrizePicks has already taken the line down, which is why it's super important. If you really want to play these plays, it's best you get in the Discord, because I released this line in the Discord probably 10 minutes ago and it's already completely gone. And most likely when a line gets pulled, most times it doesn't come back. Sometimes they'll bump up the points, but if it gets, removed completely without even getting bumped up, it's a good sign that you're on the right side, right? If you're on the heavy juice side, most likely you're on the right side. So the play, I'm going to still go through this as my top play of the day, right? Because I'm making these videos to keep track of my record for the year, my wins and losses and everything like that. And this is a play I have put in already. So it's in my slip. So if you can get it somewhere else, this is a great play to go with. Jeremy Grant, right? So let's look at the play is, I don't know if I said it, but the play is under 2.5 assists, right? So a really low line, under 2.5 assists. So the Blazers are a plus 14 at home. So I'm expecting them to get blown out this game, to get crushed by the Thunder, who are one of the hottest teams in the NBA this year, right? So I'm expecting a full blowout on them, right? So let's dive in here and take a look at Jeremy Grant, and I'll show you a little bit how to use Outlier even more to really paint that picture, right? Because if you look at his last 5, 60%, he's gone under. 60% last 20, 45, head-to-head 60, and for the year 49%. So not the greatest odds on the year, right? But when you really dive in, let's see the injuries, right? No major injuries for either team at the moment, but let's really dive in, right? So they are favored to lose this game by spread here is 14, right? And we can always sort it by, let's see, home games. So he doesn't play as good at home, right? He's hit this line 62% of the time at home, right? But they are going to lose this game most likely, right? And so let's see, games where they lost by 10 plus points. Well, first, before we do this, right, you want to get a look at his season, right? So for the season, right, he is averaging, let me just reset all this, right? I want to show you all the best way to use this tool. So if you have it, I want you to know how to fully use it, right? So he's averaging 33.9 minutes per game, right? So keep that in mind as we do this. So games where they've lost by, let's start at 10, right? Let's just start at 10. He's hit this line 56% of the time for us, and he's played 30 minutes. So his minutes dropped from what they were, I think that was 33 to 30 now. All right, so his spread was 14. So let's filter this down by games they've lost by 14 points now, right? And you can see here, he has hit this line 67% of the times when they've lost by 14 plus points, which is what makes this a great play, right? You can really dive in and see. Even when he's gone over this line, he's never hit more than 3. So there's not high upside for him. He's not a big assist guy, right? And so you can see his minutes goes down to 27 also, right? So 27 minutes in games they lost by 15, right? And let's filter this down even more, right? Let's try this now. Let's say minutes per game, right? Let's see, in games where he's played less than 30 minutes, right? So between 19 and 30, games he's played less than 30 minutes, which you can see was most likely going to happen tonight if it's a blowout. He should play less than 30 minutes. He's hit this 80% of the time, because you're just not, if you're not on the court, you're not going to get your assists, you're not going to get your points, you're not going to get your rebounds. So Jeremy Grant under 2.5 assists. I'm looking for this to be a blowout. I'm looking for him to be off the court and getting less minutes, which is a big reason why I'm liking this play. That is a super huge spread as well. And they're also on the road, right? So I think OKC is going to come in and dominate, and I think all the starters will get pulled by the fourth quarter. So Jeremy Grant, man, that's going to be my play of the day right there. And hopefully you can get this in on another book. If you're watching for this for the first time, like I said, join that Discord and you would have access to this play as soon as I have it. So Jeremy Grant, they have him getting 35 minutes and 2.7 assists. But like I said, I don't expect him to play 35 minutes, right? So that's why you got to take these projections with a grain of salt, right? You got to really dive in and see the real story behind the stats and everything. So I don't expect him to get 35 minutes. I expect him to get more, 25 to 28, maybe less, but Jeremy Grant, that's going to be our play of the day. So if this is a tool you like, Outlier, I use it, I capitalize, I use it every single day. You can see how I use it. I really dive in to the numbers and really crunch the numbers and figure out the story in each one. So if you're looking to maybe test this out, I partnered up with them and they're offering you a free 7-day trial. So you can really try it out and mess with it for a whole week and see if you like it. You know, they have a really good mobile app as well where you can do all the same things on it. So if you're on the road, if you're at work, wherever you're at, you can still use it, right? So that link is going to be in the description of my video, and I'll throw it in the comments as well if you want to try that out. But let's dive into back to daily grind, right? Let's take a look at Dinwiddie and see what the odds are at on these lines, right? So over 5.5 assists, this is the line we got. So we have a 52.51% edge. You can see it looks like some of the books came down. They were a little higher, but Pinnacle and FanDuel right around pretty much a toss up, but a couple of these have it higher, right? Minus 135s, minus 150 on Flip. So Dinwiddie, I'm liking this play. Keep an eye on Dinwiddie's minutes tonight, man. I think he's going to play heavy minutes, and I think he's going to hit that line for us. This one, I'm pretty sure it's not going to be on here. Jeremy Grant. So you can see, yeah, the line looks like it has been removed already from PrizePicks, so it's not going to be on Daily Grind. But this one was actually in the green. This one was a 54% chance to hit, odds to hit on this on Daily Grind, right? Which is super high. All the sports books were heavy on this line as well. And I think if we go back to Outlier, you can actually see right here, BetMGM is a minus 145 on this line, DraftKings minus 140, Caesars minus 137. So absolutely crazy odds in this game and for him to go under. So Jeremy Grant there. Now I'm going to get into my next 3 plays. Like I said, I'm going to be bundling those top 2 plays together, and then I'm going to be bundling them up with these 3. These are my next 3 plays in the day. So we're going to be going Herbert Jones. Right, hopefully these lines are still there. So Herbert Jones, we're going less than 11.5 points in assists. All right, he isn't somebody who scores a bunch, and Utah has a really strong defense. I'm liking him to stay under on this line here, right? And then we're going to a newbie here. So since he's been with the Knicks, he's kind of been back and forth all year, right? Still trying to find his way. But I'm liking him to go under here, man. I think the Nets are going to play this game well. I think they're going to contain him. I think the Knicks are going to rely a lot on Brunson and Randall, right? Not as much Anobi. So I'm liking him to go under less than 16.5 points and assists. And this is a play right here that I am really liking. I'm sure this line might get bumped soon if it hasn't. So if you're looking for a really strong play, this one I'm really liking. Taurean Prince. More than 11.5 points and assists, and LeBron James is going to be out tonight, right? LeBron James will be out, and I just want to double check on this to make sure, right? Because that was the latest I saw, that LeBron was out, but you could always double check an Outlier. You can see, you can filter by all these different props and see what different odds they have. I'm just going to click a random one here. So if we go to injuries here, LeBron James is out for this game, and Anthony Davis is a game time decision. So, I mean, even more incentive if Anthony Davis doesn't play, but even Anthony Davis plays, I'm liking Prince without LeBron here. And I believe I filtered down Outlier as well, and he's played 4 games this year without LeBron. He's hit this line every single one of those games. So Prince, I'm liking that play right there. And just to quickly recap, right, our top play of the day, which got bumped already, Jeremy Grant, less than 2.5 assists. Our number 2 play, Dinwiddie, more than 5.5 assists. Yeah, Herbert Jones, less than 11.5 points and assists. We got a newbie, less than 16.5 points and assists. And we got Torian Prince, more than 11.5 points and assists. Boom. And that's going to be my prize picks plays for the day, guys. If you are new to this channel, if you're seeing me for the first time, I go over my picks like this every single day. I give you my top 2 plays and then the next 3 that I'm going to be bundling that up with, right? And I really dive deep into the research, the analysis. I'm looking at the odds makers, the stats, trends, injuries, who's going to get more playing time, who's not, because there's a lot of different factors in the NBA that can determine those things, right? A player that's irrelevant might all of a sudden be getting 30 plus minutes and his line may be cut down because they haven't accounted for that yet. So these are all things to be aware of when it comes to the NBA. Every day it's changing. Every day players get ruled out, players come back, and that affects everybody else in the lineup, right? So these are things you want to always have grips on when it comes to the NBA. Always be aware of what's going on. Follow some good like Twitter accounts, RotoWire, different sites to keep up with these things, right? But if you're looking to just blindly follow, hey, that's what I'm here for as well. You know, I give away all these plays for free. I don't charge nothing. And I've said time and time again that the main purpose of this channel is for us to beat prize picks together, right? Whether that's you following my plays, whether that's you just taking my insights, my analysis and kind of building your own system out of that or your own style, that's 100% fine. You know, I'm just here to help you out in any way I can. That's why I'm making these videos. And I also just want to say thanks for everyone who has been supporting the channel by hitting that like, commenting, and subscribing as well. It's really helped grow the channel. We're pushing 1,000 subscribers right now. That's the goal. I believe we can hit it by the end of the month. So I appreciate y'all who are, you know, showing support of watching this channel and also joining the Discord and being active in there. That's going to be it for this video, guys. We are looking to have another strong day after yesterday's 5X day, starting the week strong, like I said I wanted to. So we're going to be hopefully crushing it today, but I'm going to be giving my recap and everything in tomorrow's video as usual. But that's going to be it for this one, guys. I hope y'all have a great rest of the day and take care.